Hello and welcome back. My name is Marilyn Harder, and today we're going to answer a question I got through comments. What do I do if I cannot find my glutes? Well, that is a very common problem. So we live in a very quad-dominated society, meaning that we are always leaning forward in work and we're always like moving at a really fast pace. We sit and stand a lot using the top of our legs. When we do leg work at the gym, we're lifting heavy to feel those quads. And oftentimes we forget that the body is a sandwich. For every muscle, there is an antagonist muscle. So our primary mover would be our agonist and our oppositional muscle would be our antagonist. So for quads, our antagonist is hamstrings and glutes. What happens over time when the quads get really powerful and the hamstrings and glutes do not is we start to have a little bit of a low back pressure that occurs from the pelvic bowl not sitting in place. So it's really important that anytime we're working through our legs, we're activating through our hamstrings and our glutes as well. So to answer your question, what can I do to find my glutes? Here is the answer. You first need to open up the connection. Our body is like fabric. Things lay, our muscle groups lay muscle group over muscle group over muscle group. And when one muscle group within what we call our chain of muscles is really tight, it inhibits the connection or contraction of the other muscles. So if you think about the back of the leg from glute to heel as a muscular chain, often the calf and the ankle and the bottom of the foot are so tight from our daily walking, daily lives, sitting and standing, all the things, that it inhibits our ability to activate the hamstring and glute. So it's like if it was this fabric, it's like everything is being pulled down and then all that's left is a little baby contraction for the glutes on top. So what we first need to do is we need to open in order to activate. So I want you to go ahead and find a flat wall, something you can push against. So I'm just going to go ahead and come on over here to my flat wall, and I'm going to have you take a big step back with one leg. As you do, I want you to lean in so that way it's heel, hip, and shoulder all in one alignment. If you hyperextend like me, make sure you can still feel your hamstring, and you're going to drive down and stretch out that calf. You want to make sure that your body is not escaping the work. So look at your feet and make sure that they're toes in front of heels, both in the front foot and the back foot. And then also, if you have the ability and alignment, making sure the knee is in line with the anatomical touch point for your body. For me, I load my ankle best between the second and third toe. Others load it best between the first and second toe. So find that connection and drive through. Engage that glute to square the hips because that back leg hip wants to open. And we're going to hold that for at least 30 seconds. You probably are feeling a really good stretch. If you need more, slide your front foot forward and lean deeper. We never want to take something into a place that causes pain or an odd pressure. So my general rule of thumb is if it feels weird, stop. Okay, so 30 seconds, and then now bend the back knee just a bit. And then feel how the stretch transferred to the lower calf and Achilles. Still, we're keeping things square, making sure, oh, my foot wanted to escape a little there, making sure things were still in alignment. And again, we're holding for that 30 seconds or so. So, you want to do this every time before you do any activities. So basically every day, and then you're able to engage the glutes a bit more. And then we'll switch. So for the purposes of this video, I won't switch, but you get the idea of opening up the back side chain of the leg. And I will tell you, I'm going to do a couple little calf raises. I feel a full activation all the way up to my hamstrings and glutes. Now the next thing you want to do is go light. So if you're someone who's doing work in the Pilates world and you have a reformer, drop your springs. Try footwork on a red and a blue spring and only push out with your glutes. Forget you have quads. If you turn down the quads completely so they don't talk to you anymore, you're automatically engaging the glutes, even if you can't feel or connect with them. I had a right knee issue born from some alignment things of when I was born and the way my hip socket developed. And it took me probably 6 full months before I could truly feel the connection in my right glute. And then after that, I've been able to systematically build it. If you're working at the gym, lighten the weight on the leg press. Take it to 10, 20 pounds. Something that you quote unquote feel ridiculous doing, but build it. And I will tell you that the power you are going to get between the glutes and the quads are going to be so much greater. The last piece of exercise that I highly recommend for building your glutes, in addition to all of our sideline leg work in Pilates for the deep rotators of the hips and that gluteus medius, is a hip dip bridge. So I'm going to use a box for this, but my favorite is a Bosu. Placing the Bosu between the shoulder blades and that head when you're lifting the bridge gets a little bit of support. You often see bodybuilders doing this in the gym because it's so good for building that glute tie-in. So let me pull this into the frame of it. Okay, so I've got my shoulder blades on that box. I'm going to lift up into my best bridge. Head is relaxed and I'm in neutral. And remember, we want to find that lumbo-pelvic connection, finding the glutes, hamstrings, abs, blow out all the air. Find your thoracic tug of war, length through the spine. Don't let your belly be a suspension bridge through the middle. Lower it halfway down and then engage the glutes to lift. This is a glute-focused bridge. You can do this on a coffee table, a box, a Bosu, again is my favorite. And then focus on your weaker glute. You can do this both in parallel and in wide second. If you are a postnatal client, and that's where the question came from, you have different hormones running through your body postnatally. So things are going to be harder to connect. And again, if you feel anything weird, anything disconnects, don't move on. Always check in with your doctor. They are going to be the ones that know your body. For me, I'm just giving you guidelines without actually seeing you, your body, and your specifics. Always move forward with the thought in mind of moving in a way today that allows me to come back tomorrow. Thank you so much and have a wonderful day.